Take a look at the solution. So let's start off with a little bit of code reading. I will kick it off. So on line 12, there's an opening tag for a UL element. On line 13, there's an opening tag for an LI element. On line 14, there's an opening tag for an A element with an href attribute being assigned a string or a relative URL. Some text content, and then a closing tag for the anchor elements. And then on line 15, a closing tag for the LI element. Caroline, could you do 16 through 18, please?
On line 16, there's an opening tag for the LI element. On line 17, there's an opening anchor tag with the ref attribute. Opening tag of page. On line 17, there's an opening anchor element tag with the ref attribute, followed by some text content and the closing anchor tag. On line 18, there's a closing LI element tag.
Perfect, thank you. Rukaya, could you do 19 through 21?
Okay, on line 19, we have an opening opening tag for an LI element. On line 20, we have an opening tag for the A element with an href attribute with a value of a relative link, followed by some text, followed by the closing tag for the A element. On line 21, we have the closing tag for the LI element.
Perfect, thank you. Noah, do 22 through 24.
An opening LI tag, line 23, an opening anchor with a attribute hyperreference for the extension, look like it's a local machine. And with the string, the name of the address, and closing anchor tag. Line 23 is closing LI tag.
Perfect, thank you. Line 25, there's a closing UL tag. Line 26, there's an opening P tag with some text content and then a closing P tag. And then on line 27, there's a self-closing image tag with a source attribute and an alt attribute. Okay, so we'll check out one of the other files. We'll just code read one more, and then all the other ones are going to look the same, so we don't necessarily need to code read all them individually. But right now we're in our index.html file. So if I were to close all of these other folders. So right now we are inside of index.html. The projects directory, the contact us, and the about me are siblings. So they're the same level. So all of these directories and their index.html share the same parent. Their parent is solution. We can see that by the indentation, how it goes solution and then indented about me. So all of these are at the same level. So since I'm just pointing to files that are at the same level, my sibling, I just need to put the folder name and then the file name. So that's why I'm able to just do about me and then about me.html. So I go into the about me directory, into the about me HTML. But inside of our about HTML, we'll have some paths that look a little bit different. So let's do a little bit of some code reading here. So Caroline, could you do 13 through 15?
Okay. On line 13, there's an opening LI element tag. On line 14, there's an opening anchor element tag with the ref attribute, followed by text content and the closing anchor tag element. On line 15, there's a closing LI element tag.
Perfect. And then Rukaya, 16 to 18.
On line 16, we have the opening tag for the LI element. On line 17, we have the opening tag for the A element with the href attribute with a value of a relative link, followed by some text content, followed by the closing tag for the anchor element. On line 18, we have the closing tag for the LI element.
Perfect. Thank you. And then Noah, could you do 19 through 21?
I'm opening LI tag, and line 20 is an anchor tag with an attribute href, and with it's a relative path. string and with the description of the link, the project and.
When we do code reading, we're not describing the code, we're literally just reading the code. So all we're saying is there's an href attribute being assigned a string. That's
Okay.
it.
And what about the project?
There's some text content.
Text content.
Yep.
And the text content, and the closing anchor tag, and line 21 is a closing li tag.
Perfect, thank you. Line 22, there's an opening li tag. On line 23, there's an opening a tag with an href attribute being assigned a string. Some text content and then a closing tag for the a element. Line 24, there's a closing tag for the li element, and then Caroline, could you
Yes.
do 25 to 27?
On line 25, there's a closing tag for the UL element. Then on line 26, there's an opening element tag for the P element, followed by text content, followed by the closing element. P element tag. On line 27, there's a opening self-closing image element tag with the source attribute and the alt attribute followed by text.
Perfect. Awesome, yeah.
Yeah, because yesterday I left, I just want to see the difference between the absolute and relative, because they're all.
So absolute would be something like,
How you showed us on the VS Code, how.
so that would be like the difference. So you see how an absolute has HTTPS, so it literally includes the destination of where it lives on the web. This is relative, it's relative to my file system. I'm telling it to go to my local folder.
So it's specifically, it's a local, right, like to the machine.
Yeah, so relative is local to my current files.
So just for example, when you showed us on our machine, we don't need to put the whole path, like the what they call the workspace. You don't need to put everything, just the parent folder.
No, yeah, so and it's kind of one of the things I wanted to talk about too, is that when we're working with relative links, you always want to take the shortest distance possible from where you're at. So in theory, I could have done something where I could have gone to
like this, right?
or like HTML relative links /solution / but if I did this every single time, I'm having to send them back and then go back down, send them back and then go back down. You want the browser to do as minimal work as possible, so you want it to be as close to where you're at. Or if you're on Windows, in theory, I could have done, C, users,
This is the full.
Sean, code. But now you're forcing us to have to do more work. You're sending them all the way back to go find it. So whenever we're working with relative URLs, you always want to take the shortest distance possible from where you're at. So right now I am inside of the About Me directory. So since I'm inside the About Me directory, I can just put the file name for About Me directly because I'm inside of the directory. But if I wanted to get to projects, well, projects does not exist inside of About Me, but it exists inside of my parent. So what do I need to do? I need to go up a level. So that's where that ... comes into play. So now I am getting out of About Me. I am now inside of my solution directory, which then gives me access to projects, which then allows me to go inside.
So just want to see, so if you go to, where's the project? So this is project, okay, you went back to ... so to the previous directory, which is the HTML relative links, right?
Yeah, so right here, I'm in About Me, so I'm inside of here. So I'm inside of this folder. As soon as I do this ... I am now inside of the solution folder. And now I want to go into projects. So then I literally just put the name of the folder because I'm already inside of my solution directory. So now I put projects. So now I'm inside of my projects directory. And then I list whatever file.
So you listed, is it like inherit something from the index of HTML because you went back ... Which is why you put
... just refers to parent. So like we do it when we compile our code, right? So whenever you have to CD new exercise to do TSC, and then when you go to commit, you have to do CD ... because you need to go back up to your parent in order to do that. That's the exact same thing of what's happening here. I'm inside of a child directory and I need to go back to my parent. So that's where the dot comes in.
And if you put one dot, like in the same.
One dot just means it's the same directory.
Same directory.
Yeah.
So it's not related to the extension, to the top extension.
It's related to where you're at, where this file exists.
Yeah, so, and we take just the shortest path.
That's what we want to do.
What if we wanna take like just take the regular path, we just take the whole thing? If we don't wanna take the relative.
Well, in this case, they are relative because this doesn't live anywhere on the web.
Yeah,
So it has to be
so it's
relative.
relative, yeah. So we can do this, we can do it any way we want, so this is a relative only.
This is relative only, but we have multiple ways of how we could have written the relative link.
Uh-huh.
I could have done the dot, or I could have done the C users and done like the full address, but this is the better approach with the dot. Alright, let's check out the quiz questions. I think last one to read. So Rukaya, can you tell me, how can I indicate the relative link to a parent directory?
So we use the dot followed by the slash, and
Yeah.
then the folder or file that we want to link.
Yeah, so whenever we want to go up to a parent directory, we could do dot slash. And then if I wanted to access another folder, then yes, I could put the name of the folder. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, what, we put dot, if we put slash too, since it's a directory, is it wrong or is it?
What do you mean?
We should put like slash, dot, slash.
Slash dot? You're saying if you did slash,
Yeah, so you see it on line 14, see on line.
slash
14?
dot? No.
Yeah.
It's completely
It's
different.
weird.
Yeah. Completely different.
Just dot.
Rukaya?
Trey has asked a question in the Zoom chat.
Oh, yeah, if you can ever call those out, I don't have a way of having Zoom chat open. Would you mind asking it?
Yeah, so he's asking, can you use hash for current page in relative links?
A hash for a current page. So you're saying if I wanted to go to like index.html, but then I also wanted to go to like a specific ID, like about or something? Are you asking about this?
Oh, that's a good question.
I don't know, that's Trey's question. He's
Yeah,
posted that.
I don't. Let's see, let me get. Right, I got chat pulled up on this computer, so I should be able to see a message. Is this what you're referring to about with the hashtags, about what we were talking about yesterday, how I can jump to specific IDs of pages? Is this what you're referring to, or are you referring to something else?
On specific pages.
On index.html, use hashtag to reference itself. Okay, so you're saying on index.html, if I just put a hashtag like that, you're saying? Yes, this works. Hashtag specifically, what it's actually going to do is it's actually going to jump to the top of the page. So it's fine if that's what you want. In this case, since it is linking yourself, you can just put the hashtag. But it is a little side effect, I guess, to be aware that if you do the hashtag, it's immediately going to jump you to the top of the page. Awesome. Rukai, did you have any more questions or no?
No.
Okay, perfect. Noah, how do you indicate the relative link to a child directory?
To the child directory, so the child directory, relative link, so it's dot slash.
So dot is only for parents. I want to go into my child.
So you're gonna put slash and the name of the file.
You don't even need a slash. You just put the file name.
Oh, just a file name.
Yep.
We no slash in the front of it.
So I'm inside of my solution. I have access to all of these. So what do I want to do? I want to go into my about me. And
So
then I
about me, the parent, then slash, then the.
yeah, so
folder.
you just put the file name directly like so.
Or we can put the file name too, right? Like
Hmm?
we can put directly the file, the folder.
If you already have that file, yeah. If it's in a directory, then you have to put the directory name and then the file name.
It's relative to your location, so
Yeah.
if we are that project when it goes.
So if I'm in index.html,
Just
all
put-
of these links are relative to where this
So just
exists.
put index, with-
Yeah.
if we are that project, we can put.
But if I'm in projects, then that's,
Slash and name of the file.
yeah, then I need to go.
And if we are like at HTML, imagine like if we are at solutions, when they go to index.html.
Mhm.
Right, so you're gonna put so there's gonna be the long one, solution slash. And we're gonna go to the parent project slash index.html.
Yep, you can do that, yep.
Or you can put dot, right?
Dot is only to go up,
Yeah,
so it's only go up, only from child to parent.
or it's dot, or I can
So
put
there's
dot,
twos, there's dot slash,
dot slash, where we are right
that
now.
means same directory. Dot means parent directory.
Parent.
I never use dot slash. Because I can just, if I'm indicating the same directory, I can just put the file name, so I never really use
So you
dot
don't-
slash,
you don't
yeah.
confuse, sure.
Caroline, how can I indicate the relative link to a grandparent?
So we would use the dot slash, the name of the grandparent, then the name of the parent, and then the child.
So how do I go to my parent?
We go there with the dot slash.
So if I wanna go to that parent's parent,
Then we have to put the name of the parent and.
not the name of the parent, before that, if I have to go to a parent using dot slash. And I need to go to another parent, what do I need to do?
Another slash.
Another dot slash. So that's how you get to your grandparents, is two dot slashes.
Not even the name.
So if I wanted to, so right here. Dot slash gives me to my parents. Dot slash gives me to my grandparent. And so now I would put the name. So then I would be like, okay, well, now I want to go into an AI intro or whatever. But I still need to do two sets of dot slashes. So this is going to my parent. This is going to my grandparent, both of them. Yeah, so just whenever I need to go up one more level, another dot slash. So if I wanted to go to my great grandparents, then I would do another dot slash.
Oh, yeah,
If I wanted to go to their grandparent or their parents, then I would need to do another dot slash.
Oh,
Anytime we ever want to go to another parent, it's another dot slash.
so let's see. You can just go back to.
Mhm.
So this pretty much when I go to AI intro, we just went back.
Yeah,
dot,
so
dot.
I'm in index.html. The first dot slash then took me to HTML relative links.
Then you went back.
Then another dot slash took me to exercises,
Then you
and
went
now
to
I went
AI.
into AI intro. Yep.
Okay. So,
And then Rakaya, how can I indicate the relative link to the same directory?
We just put in the file name.
Yeah, we could just put the file name directly, or we could also use that dot slash that we were talking about as well, either way. Mhm. Awesome, I kind of talked about everything I wanted to as we were going through it, but did anyone have any other final or any other questions about links?
When we, for example, create different HTML files for every view of our website,
Mhm.
then how do we know where to start writing the code for the new page? Like, upon what do we decide that we need to, for example, oh, here I end the code for the index HTML, and I will start my code for the About Me page.
It depends on what you want on that page, right? So it's like the About Me HTML is only gonna have stuff related to about you. So for instance, like you probably wouldn't put stuff related to, I don't know.
Horses.
Horses, yeah, on your, I mean, maybe because you would talk about how your love for horses on your about page, you know, or something, but let's say you had a contact page and you had an about page. You wouldn't put anything about contacting you on your about page that would go on your contact us page. So it's depending on just what content you want. If I were to go to caroline.com/about, what is only the content that I should see on about? So like LearningFuze, right? Like we have all these different pages. Well, the only content that should be on about us is stuff that's related to who we are, who works at LearningFuze, what is about us. I don't have anything about tuition, it's not necessarily about LearningFuze, but if I go to the tuition, well, then there's only information related to about tuition. Oh, well, what about our courses? Well, we have lots of different courses, so I don't want to put all of our information about every course on the same webpage. So each course gets its own page and you only put the information about that course on that page. So it just kind of depends on what pages are you gonna have, how many pages, and you only show the content that you want for that page.
But the HTML, when it's going to be read, it's fine, then it's going to be read through each click. Like, for example, right now, the
Mhm.
browser is reading the main page for LearningFuze.
Right now, the browser is reading only this page,
Only this page.
only the
Prep
courses.
course start.
So this is not my index.html.
This is.
This
the
would be like
course.
prep course.html. Now, if I go here, this is my index.html. This is my about us.html. So these are all,
And the JavaScript will work with all of these different files of HTML.
yeah, depending on when it got loaded. And so in this case, since I had so many different HTML files, I would need to load my JavaScript in each individual HTML file. Which is why most modern websites these days, you don't necessarily have multiple HTML files. You usually use view swapping. And then you just have one, and then you swap a JavaScript.
Oh, really?
Or you use a framework like React, which handles a lot of that for us.
Oh, okay, so think about view swaps.
Yeah, but in theory, like you still can do multiple HTML files and that's still totally valid, but that's how you would break it up. It's just what content do you actually want to be on that page?
Oh,
If I go to the about page, I should only see content related to about.
but the JavaScript would theoretically work with.
You would
every
just need to put the
single-
script tag
I
on,
would put the script tag in every file.
you would
and
have
then
to,
my JavaScript will work on every single HTML.
exactly,
Oh,
but
okay.
you may have, like in that case, you probably have. Different JavaScript files, because the JavaScript that would run on the about page is probably different than the JavaScript that would run on the contact page. So for instance, like on the contact page, you'd submit a form to contact. So I don't necessarily care about that JavaScript running on the about page because I'm not submitting any forms. So what I might have is I may have two different JavaScript files. Maybe I have an about JS file and a contact.js file, and I only have the contact.js on the contact page.
I
So-
see, so theoretically, that's what I would have to do if I were not using view swap. Or
Yeah, you can do that, yeah.
So that, okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions about links? All right. Let me make sure I got, yep, awesome. Let me stop the recordings then.